Hello, 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 folks. So, today I wanted to talk about making a connection and avoiding isolation and how that impacts your business. So, um, isolation is a common issue, I'd say, amongst entrepreneurs, particularly solopreneurs. You get up, you are walking through your business day, normally at a very high percentage by yourself, particularly if you are not really interacting or purposefully interacting with other people. And that isolation can definitely lead to some negative impacts, in particular depression, because after a while it's just you kind of going through it, by yourself every day. Not only the ups, and even obviously with the ups, we definitely want that person to be able to acknowledge our ups, give that high five, pat on the back, but also, and more worrisome, in the downs, in those moments where, gosh, you didn't get that win, or man, I haven't closed the sale in a while, or I can't figure out this new content, or this new product or service. I'm struggling, and you are there going through that by yourself. You do not have a tribe, of like-minded people that you can discuss it with, that can help you, give you insight, just, give you that support that you need at that time, that it's going to be okay, oh, I've been through it, or anything like that. Or you're in a place where you are struggling, but because you're not around people who can understand that, or you're not basically putting yourself out there, you're not being able to grow. You're not being able to learn. You're not being able to have those aha moments in regards to the how to's, the what's, the whys. So, just a few tips in that area. One of them is to get up and simply just get dressed. Right? Get up, get dressed, be ready for your day. I know, and listen, we all do this, particularly when I first started working from home, like on a regular basis. I used to work from home 3 days a week when I still was in the corporate world. My last job, I worked from home 3 days a week. And that was difficult for me to get up and really be like, okay, you need to like not be in your pajamas, all day. Um, you need to not have on socks and slippers, when you go outside, whatever, to, get the mail, like, consistently, or in my case, probably barefoot, because I love to be barefoot, or you know what? You need to put a bra on, okay? Like, I mean, those things, I mean, so even it was difficult when I was still going into the office some days. So definitely when it was 5 days a week, which equates to essentially 7 days a week of being home, right? We can get very comfortable. But what that does, I think it sets a different tone. I mean, I think we can all, if you did a little experiment and you determined, okay, what is the tone that I set when I get up in the morning, with intention. I set a certain schedule for me to engage, but not only do I set that schedule, but I come into it ready to go. I am, dressed, hair decent, as if I was going to be speaking to that person face to face. Some of the things that I do in order to ensure that that happens is I will have calls that are Zoom calls or Skype calls, some kind of a call where people have to see me. And there are lots of people that I work with. They just prefer that. They prefer to be able to see the person. So I have to be at least somewhat decent, right? I mean, obviously, I don't have to be all dolled up, but I have to be at least somewhat decent when that occurs, Or I set up meetings with people where I have to actually go out and engage. Maybe we're going to meet for coffee, or something like that fairly early in the morning. And again, that forces me to have to get up and kind of get into that mindset of, okay, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to engage because I think it does set a different tone. And again, we all have our days. There are days where obviously that doesn't happen for me, and I'm not saying that that is a problem, but I would say it would be a concern if that was your everyday. If that was your everyday habit, right? So that's one. Another thing is to find a co working space, right? I found out just fairly recently, probably a couple of months back, that there is one not more than probably 5 or 7 minutes away from me, where you can go and you have several options. You could just have a open space, right, where there are other people, but you would have your own little section, or you could have a rental of a enclosed space, but you still kind of just have your little cube area and there would be other people. Or you could have obviously your own very small office, or you could have a bigger office space. Or I mean, they even have it that, let's say you have your team, you could have space where you have access to conference rooms and things of that nature. So basically, they have something to fit and meet you wherever you are in your business. And that can get you out and about and interacting with people every day, but you're still able to work on you, work on your business, work on what you're doing. So that's also an option. I personally would not do that every day because I know me, but having that option of doing that a couple of times a week, definitely beneficial, because also what it does is I meet a lot of other local business owners, right? That's another thing, because I'm not the only one here in my town that is doing this, that is thinking, oh, gee, this is probably a good idea. So it's also building those relationships with, oh, what do you do? What do you do? Oh, maybe we could collaborate. Oh, this and other. Oh, well, did you know this is going on? Did you know that was going on? And again, that's really good for local things, because we may know about events that are happening, for example, I live 20, 25 minutes outside of Atlanta, so close enough. But I mean, so I may know, funny enough, to some degree, I know more of the things that may be happening in Atlanta that I may know in my local little town, because word may not spread as much, right? So that is also a benefit. And networking in regards to events. I'm going to an event tomorrow in which I will have a few minutes to speak. I'm going to have a vendor table there in which I will go with my products, my book. I have my t-shirts, I have my merchandise. I have my programs, obviously, that I'll be speaking about there, and just speaking to people in general. Just speaking to people in general, just making some connections, just speaking. There are going to be some main stage speakers, definitely, that are some powerhouse women that I want to engage with. Then they're the attendees that I'm sure will be amazing, that I want to speak with, because you never know. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know what collaborations could come from that, right? You never know what next step that could be bringing you towards, which then kind of segues into being also that connector. You could, I mean, I speak to people all the time where I may not necessarily be in the wheelhouse of what they're looking for, or that may not necessarily be my area of expertise, but I know somebody who is, and I can connect person A to person C through me. And so now, not only do I have a relationship with person A and person C, but I am seen as a value add to both of them, because they're like, oh my gosh, well, she's been able to bring me this person or that person, which has been able to add to my business, right? That's been able to add to my bottom line revenue. And that's always a positive. And especially when you're connecting good people to good people, that always just makes me happy. Right? So, those are just a few of the things that I want you all to think about. And obviously, in this module, lots of things I just said, they are represented in there in addition to some other tips, but just a few things for you to think about in regards to the true benefits of um, networking, of connecting with people, of showing up, because your business cannot grow if you're hiding. It just can't. Your business cannot grow if you're hiding. It can't grow if nobody knows about you. It can't grow if you pop your head up once a month and people are like, who's that person? It's like Groundhog Day, right? Who's that person? And you pop your head back under the ground and you don't pop up again for another month. You got to put yourself out there. You got to start talking to people. You got to start showing up places. You got to start asking what's going on at places. Where do I need to be? Where do I need to go? You got to start when you reach out on social media, whether Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever it is, and you make connections. Follow up with that connection. Hey, have a conversation. See what you all may have in common. See how you all could possibly work together. Or again, maybe you could be that connector to someone else. Alrighty. So I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about that. And I'll be seeing you in the group. Bye bye.